Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is out now from Llewellyn Books, and it is now finally available at Amazon. So if you've been all waiting patiently over the last few months because all those pre-orders sold out, finally Amazon got that new stock in and we are back on track. So you can get this book today and not have to wait forever. It is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo with 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal is calling to you, which one's getting stuck in your head, because that animal has a message for you. And the animals were the elephant, the nightingale, and the fox. So if you're just tuning in, ask yourself right now, which animal kind of gets stuck in your head? Which one can you visualize? Because that animal's got the message for you. The first card is Elephant Spirit, or the first animal, and it says learn from the past on the card. An elephant is an archetype of looking back. We all know the saying, an elephant never forgets, but elephants are also a card or an archetype of matriarchy. It's the female elephant cows that take over the herd and lead them through all their trials and tribulations. So this could be a time to really reach out and get in touch with your own feminine ancestry. It might be time to look to the grandmothers or the great-grandmothers and also find that resilience and strength through your female line. First, for elephant is where it's best for them to place their focus this week. We got the Lovers card. Anytime we see the Lovers, this is a great time of harmonizing relationships. But even more than just love, because, lovers can mean love, but it's a little simple, and not everyone's just falling in love right now. The Lovers actually show these 3 archetypes that are all parts of yourself. You got the female, who is a symbol for your emotional self, your feelings. You got the male, who's a symbol for your worldly self, your rational, logical side. And then you got that transcendent angel, which is always a symbol for your higher self. And the Lovers card is teaching you to bring these disparate parts of yourself into harmony. And to do that, they all need to listen to each other. I mean, just look at the man on the card. He's a symbol for your rational mind, and he's looking toward his feelings, his emotional self, the female, for clues as to what to really look for on a deeper level, or also what needs to be inspected on that emotional level to bring harmony. And you can see the woman on the card, she's looking up at the angel. She's looking to the higher self. So this might be a time where your feelings are opening up to what your higher self is telling you at this time. Whenever we see the Lovers card, it says to arrive at that transcendent place of higher love. And watch how easy it is to look at other situations and even people that might frighten you or make you upset, and suddenly you can forgive them. Suddenly you can see them in context, and suddenly you're not triggered so heavily. Let love be the answer. Next, we have advice from your inner wisdom. If you pick the Elephant card, and wow, we got these major arcana cards here. The Moon, which is all about your deeper instincts, your intuition. Much like that Lover's archetype, the Moon pulls on us from the unconscious. It represents old feelings, old attitudes, and maybe even the past that may be shaping your perceptions of the present. And when we see the Moon, it says, listen, tune in, get quiet, get to that deeper part of yourself, because it's whispering the answer to you. And if you ignore your instincts, the Moon in Latin is Luna, where we get our word lunatic from, so you can sometimes get driven a little crazy if you're not paying attention to that deeper part of yourself at this time. So trust your nature. And finally, the mythic archetype that is going to be helping the elephant is Cerberus, the 3-headed dog of the underworld. People are scared of the underworld because they think it means death and all of that sort of thing. But the underworld is also a symbol for where great riches are kept. The underworld is like our unconscious, much like the Moon is talking about. And if you have the courage to go past the 3-headed dog and your fear of what might be lying and lurking within the deep waters of your unconscious, you may actually find a treasure there. And Cerberus can then become your best friend. So this is a time to really tune into you, the higher part of you, and that will help you transcend your current problem. Next, we have the Nightingale, and it says, love is all around. And Nightingale is also known for its song, singing. And so maybe instead of putting on the news this morning or next morning before you are getting your day going, listen to your favorite music. Listen to how that will change your perspective and make you feel much more vital and alive and happier and more joyous. Watch out for what you're allowing into your ears at this time. Your ears are open to the world, and you want to filter out maybe some of the toxicity that's around you. First card for Nightingale is where it's best for them to place their focus this next week. And slow and steady is going to win the race this week for Nightingale people. All the seeds have been planted. Everything's growing beautifully, but it's not yet harvest time when we see that Seven of Pentacles. So this could be a time to monitor your growth, to sort of be consistent and follow through, but to realize that you don't need to be a finished product altogether right now, that things still need time to germinate before harvest season does come around. Whenever I see the Seven of Pentacles, I like to tell people, you're like 75% of the way there. All the heavy lifting is done. And now you really just need to monitor what's growing and be patient with it as it opens to you. Next, we have advice from your inner wisdom if you pick the Nightingale, and there is the full harvest, the Empress herself. The Empress is just my favorite card. She is such a reassuring figure, and she's the great mother, the great goddess archetype that reassures you that all will be well, all is growing in its appropriate time. She wears the crown of 12 stars, and so this could be a time where you want to metaphorically wear your crown of 12 stars. And what does that mean? Well, it means that you're able to look at things and have a consciousness of what's eternal. You're able to look at things from a distance. You're able to see things in their proper context. And the Empress doesn't stress out if the plants in her garden aren't growing fast enough or giving her the results that maybe she would have expected. She's just blessing that organic growth. So you notice these garden scenes for Nightingale. This could be time where you really want to tune into what's harmonizing. Instead of stressing out about the pace of your growth, instead celebrate it and really just see how beautiful it is opening to you at this time. Whenever the Empress appears, worries cannot exist because she does not understand the concept of scarcity. And finally, we have the mythic archetype that will be helping, the Nightingale, and we got Demeter, the goddess of the harvest. She is the quintessential Empress archetype from Greek mythology. She's the great mother. So there is something to be said here. There's a harvest growing. This is just such a beautiful time for Nightingale. And what you're going to want to do is just be patient. Your crop is coming in. The harvest is on the way. And also, it's important to nurture yourself. Demeter is the mother archetype. So is the Empress. This is a time to nurture your goals, nurture the people you love, and most importantly, nurture yourself. And then finally, we have the Fox people. Whoa, there goes my stand. And for Fox, it says, think on your feet. And Fox is known for its wits. So this could be a time where you want to be clever, witty, and really outfox or outsmart your challenges. The first card for Fox is where it's best for them to place their focus this next week. And we got the Seven of Cups. And this is sometimes a card of illusion. It says that what's in front of you right now is a little opaque. It's a little misty. You may not be able to see clearly. It's like a fog is covering your path. And so this is an imaginative card. You can see out of some of the cups, there are wonderful things like crowns and jewels and other things like that are scary, like dragons and snakes. And this could be a time where when you can't see the way ahead, you're imagining what's there. You're like a pendulum that's swinging from the worst case scenario to the best case scenario. And none of it's true. So the Seven of Cups is saying, think of all the times that you've been worried about the future or worried about the worst case or even the best case and how the future ended up not resembling anything you were imagining. And so this is a card to really say, look at what's there and don't try to penetrate through the mists right now. Don't try to look through that. There's a mystery at work in your life right now and you're not supposed to know what's coming next. Next, we got the advice from your inner wisdom, and we got the Devil card. So again, that symbol of fear is coming up here. Because you can't see, because there's a cloud over things, the Devil card can sometimes inject those fears from our inner saboteur that's saying, maybe we're on the wrong track, maybe we shouldn't even try, maybe it's all just hopeless, and it's all garbage. Because the figures that are chained to the Devil's throne are wearing loose chains. They can slip out of them whenever they want to. So this week, really watch your fears. And finally, the mythic archetype that's going to help you is Odysseus. He's the hero that took 20 years to get back home, but through every trial and tribulation, he does arrive. And so this could indicate that you're up against some challenges right now. Much like Odysseus at sea, you can't really see the horizon. You don't know how the journey's going to end, where it's going to go. You are going to be facing some of your greatest fears, but you can't let them stop you on your quest. Continue forward and you will arrive at the safe port. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com. Otherwise, I hope you all have a safe and healthy and happy week, and do take care of yourselves.